All right, let's go over some news that has been going on in MLB The Show 17. This is the video that I was telling y'all that I was going to do about MLB The Show 17 and Diamond Dynasty. It's going to be different from the other news-related videos that I did because this time I just want to talk about things that I'm super interested with Diamond Dynasty and give the details on those because I remember, if y'all remember last year for MLB The Show 16 news, I made a video explaining Diamond Dynasty because there was a lot of new stuff coming out with it. The Captain store was new. The flashbacks were new, the missions were new, and the conquest mode was new, and people just did not understand it. So let's go ahead and talk about some things that are going to be happening in MLB The Show 17 that are new, and I'll just tell y'all which ones I'm looking forward to the most. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is the events mode that's going to be happening inside of Diamond Dynasty. Now this mode is going to be a particular mode where you have to play with a certain lineup, and sometimes I don't know if it's sometimes or all the times that there's going to be an overall cap for the events mode. I think it might be every single event that they post up is going to have an overall cap, like 87 or something. So you're going to make a team revolving around that event. So it could be like, I'm just going to make up events. These aren't events that have been confirmed for MLB The Show 17 or nothing. These are simply just examples to show you what might be in the game. One that we saw, I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was the NL East or the AL East event that was in the screenshots. What you have is the NL East. It's the NL East. What you have is you play with players from the NL East, any team in the NL East, and you cap that overall at 87, and you play with that team. Now, something that's going to be inside of the events is kind of like what's in Battle Royale, where when you get a certain number of wins, you'll get a reward. So it's going to be the same. And I'm pretty sure doing events do not cost stubs. Do not quote me on that. I'm just saying I think based on the screenshots that I've seen and the stream that I watched, they didn't pay stubs to play the event. They just made a lineup and they entered into it. So you enter the event, you play games, you try to win as many games as you can so you can win an award. Now, just like Battle Royale, you get 2 losses. So if you lose twice in the event, you start over. So you're going to play the event with a set lineup, and you go for the amount of wins to get the best reward possible. And unlike Battle Royale, where it's randomized, whereas like you get 3 wins, you might get a silver or a bronze, or if you get lucky for your 6-win reward, you might already be in contention to get a gold or something if you get lucky. The events, it seemed from what they showed, it was like set tiers of cards you get for winning. So 3 wins, bronze, 6, silver, yada, 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 you know. And once you get that set amount, you're going to get that tier card. Just based on what the screenshot showed, because they showed the amount of wins and then they had like the diamond or the silver or the gold or the bronze on top of the win number. So that's what I'm just going to go ahead and say right there. Now that mode I am really looking forward to because it gives me a chance, actually gives everybody a chance. If you're one of those people who ends up with a stacked team, the events is a good way to get you to play with other cards that you wouldn't have played with in the first place. So if there's flashback silvers and golds, now you're pretty much going to have to use those guys to meet your overall cap requirement. I think that's neat because this really gives people a reason to use some of those low overall flashbacks, whereas in MLB The Show 16, they didn't really have a reason to use them. So I'm glad they're putting that in there, that overall cap, because now we get to use them. So the events in Diamond Dynasty is something I'm really looking forward to playing and putting videos out on because it's just an extra competitive mode to an already competitive mode. Next up, let's talk about seasons. A lot of people thought the seasons were going to be something like you saw in Madden, or like Madden, or I guess FIFA might have seasons. I don't even know what FIFA does, but I know Madden has the little seasons thing. Some people thought it was going to be like that. It's not like that. So what's going to happen is in MLB The Show 17 Diamond Dynasty, you're going to have separate seasons. Each season that comes out is going to offer different rewards. And you know how in MLB The Show 16 you have your spring training, and then I don't remember what's after spring training, but then you have DS, CS, World Series. Now we have more. I don't remember all of the names for them, but now we have more ranking areas. Now, in seasons, your goal is to hit your peak. You want to hit your peak. So when you're playing games in your seasons mode, you're online head-to-head, you want to get as high as you can. Now, they said you do not have to worry about losing it. Whatever your peak ranking is for that season is going to be the one used to determine what reward you get at the end of the season. Say you make it to the World Series and you're scared because you don't want to get out of the World Series because you might drop down to the one below it. You don't have to worry about it. If you go all the way up to the World Series and you drop a rank or drop 2 ranks or 3 or 4, it doesn't matter how many you drop, your reward is going to be based on that World Series ranking, nothing else. Your highest ranking is what determines what reward you're going to get for that season. I think that's amazing. Also, this is another reason to keep on playing Diamond Dynasty because each season is going to offer you rewards and you're just constantly going to be changing. So one season you get the World Series, you got your rank, bam, you get to start over. Now you got to go shoot for that World Series rank again. I like it. It keeps it really competitive. I mean, Diamond Dynasty as a whole, every single game mode I feel like it's just going to be so just consuming of time that it's going to be hard not to just keep playing the game. All right, let's talk about the new ranking system, the overalls. I mean, not the ranking system in online head-to-head, but the overall rankings for cards. Now we have to where it's you got your commons, your silvers, your golds, your bronzes, your diamonds, right? But now diamond is 90 to 99, not 93 to 99, 90 to 99. Now, a lot of people were wondering, does this mean we're going to have more diamonds in the game? I could see why you would think that, but I'm going to go ahead and say no. I don't know how many diamonds they have in the game yet. I don't even think they said how many diamonds were in the game as far as base card players, current live players, live series players. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be about the same amount of diamonds, if not maybe a little bit more because you got guys like Lindor, and just other guys who really put on last year that'll probably be given that diamond status. But I'm going to say more often than not, based on how many diamond outfielders they showed, which are three diamond outfielders, that's left, right, center. There's only 3 live series diamonds. I'm going to say that there's going to be about the same amount of diamonds this year at the beginning of the game as pretty much any other year. Now let me go into why. So y'all remember how many diamond second basemen were put out this year, and every time I reviewed one, y'all basically said this guy's not even really a diamond. Look at his hitting stats. It's because second baseman, the position was super easy to get anybody to diamond. That was the first position that your created Diamond Dynasty player was probably a diamond at, was second base. And that's because it was just super easy to boost them up there. They didn't really need good hitting stats to be a diamond. This year, they didn't say that it would be different for second baseman, but I do recall them saying that this year, if you're a diamond, if you're a 99, you're an actual 99 now, because now what they did for different positions is stats don't mean. Let me see how I can word this while seeming correct, because I don't want to word it wrong and then people not understand what I'm saying. So now each position is going to take a different, like stats are going to mean different and on different positions. Wow, that came out really bad trying to make, it sounded so good in my head and it came out just completely bad out of my mouth. Let me try to say that again. Positions are going to be the overall of different positions. Third base, second base, first base, whatever. Each position, their attributes, depending on what they're put on, is going to either affect their overall or not affect their overall. Please tell me that makes sense. Let me go into an example. Pitchers, their fielding attributes don't really mean much for their overall. That's for this year. Last year, if you had a pitcher with good fielding, it would boost their overall. This year, it will not, because it's just not a huge factor in pitchers. Pitchers need to have good pitches, good control, velocity, movement. Whatever you can think of that a pitcher needs, that's going to be the attributes that affect that position. A pitcher's fielding is not going to affect their position that much this year. That was said in the stream, so hopefully that makes more sense. So now this year in second baseman, maybe some of those attributes aren't going to affect such a huge boost in overall, like a big boost in overall, like fielding or speed or something. Maybe that's not going to boost a second baseman all the way to diamond, or maybe it will. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's going to be as many diamonds this year. It's just because of what was said. They only said it about the pitchers, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was just a complete overhaul for every single position and how their attributes determine what their tier is going to be at that position. I really hope that made sense. Probably didn't. Alright, the last thing we're going to talk about is programs in Diamond Dynasty. Now, this is something that I think is going to be very key into keeping people playing the game, because there's going to be new ones coming out, and they're going to take a while to get, and you really have to grind for them. So the Diamond program, they revealed how to get the Diamond King Griffey Jr., the MVP card, the hardware edition King Griffey Jr. 1997 MVP edition card. It's through the Diamond program, and they said that this is going to take a long time to get. I believe it was up until the All-Star week they expect. You can't get it until that, so it's a long wait to get that card. But in the meantime, you can go ahead and progress through the Diamond program. So there's different, like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, and each percent gives you a different reward as far as like it goes in 10. So at 10% you'll get something, 20, 30, 40, 50. At each of those percents you're going to get something different. At one point you even get his dad. So you're just going to progress through all those, and once you get 100%, you get the King Griffey Jr. Now, I remember seeing a picture of, I think it was the 90%, and they have a card of his specific shoe, his King Griffey Jr. cleats, and then they have a picture of his free card that everybody's going to get if they pre-order the game. So I'm wondering if at 90% you're going to have to get that diamond equipment, and if so, that thing is probably going to cost a ton of stubs, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be easy to get, since that's one of the keys to get the Griffey. They're not going to make that easy. So programs are going to be cool, and like I said, they're going to have a rookie program, and these are going to be released on day 1 of MLB The Show 17, so you can start working on them immediately. And the cool thing about it is, they said, is that when you're working on one program, you might not even notice, but you're actually putting in progress for the other program as well. So sometimes they might actually tie in with what you have to do. So when you're doing stuff with one thing, you actually put it in progress on something you weren't even trying to put progress in. You might just be playing a head-to-head game, and you might have boosted your progress in one of the programs without even realizing it. But I'm pretty sure the people that are really down to grind for these things are going to know what they're doing, because that's what they're probably going to be trying to do at that time. But yeah, programs, super cool. It seems like what they did this year was, in Diamond Dynasty, they added a ton of stuff just to keep people wanting to play. Not only that, but it gives us a lot of content to work with. And I play a lot of different sports games. I play a lot of different games, period. And nowadays, it seems like games are going towards the downloadable content era, where they release a game and then they just put a bunch of downloadable content along with it that you have to pay for. The only downloadable content MLB The Show has is your stubs. It's the only thing you have. And it's not even content, that's virtual currency. So I'm glad sports games don't really go along that route, but even saying that, a lot of sports games don't put out this much content. If you look at a lot of sports games, they have your pack openings, and you got your head-to-head, and then they'll have like a draft mode. That was something that came in new. But as far as all this other stuff, I mean, other games have sets, but you got to look at it. MLB The Show has look at this. To get content in the game, to receive rewards in the game, MLB The Show now has events that you can get rewards. They have pack openings. They have Diamond Dynasty seasons that give you, that's 3 already. Let me go over that because I don't remember if I mentioned Battle Royale, events, Diamond Dynasty head-to-head, pack openings, missions, Captain Store. That's 6 different ways to acquire content. I might be missing one. I don't even know. I am missing one. After you play every single game, you get a reward. I don't know if they're bringing it back this year, but in MLB The Show 16, when you just logged in, you got something for free. So if they have all of that, look at this. They got 8 ways to just get content in the game. I can't think of another game that does that. I really can't. Big ups to MLB The Show. I'm really looking forward to Diamond Dynasty. The hype is real. I mean, on my Twitter, y'all every time I tweet out something about MLB The Show 17, y'all go crazy. So I know y'all can't wait for the game either. And just everything they've said about the game so far, it just made me want to play it more. And this happened last year on MLB The Show 16. Everything they were saying, just got me super hyped for the game. And I mean, now you got this year where they're just adding even more stuff. So, it's crazy. I cannot wait for this game. I got like 2 more videos I got to make for this. I finished my first exams in school, so hopefully I can get these videos out soon. I'm definitely getting this one out soon. But yeah, that's why I haven't posted a video in a week. I've just been super busy. But I finally got the Diamond Dynasty news out.